Each May, the world's best surf ski and outrigger paddlers enter the ocean at Molokai's Molokai to compete in the Molokai Challenge, the World Championship of open ocean surf ski and outrigger racing. The Molokai Challenge, originally named Kanakai Kaika, is the ultimate Ironman and final test of paddling skill, endurance and knowledge of ocean surfing. It tests a paddler's ability to maneuver against unpredictable weather conditions in the Kaiwi Channel. The Kaiwi Channel, more often called the Molokai Channel, is an expansive ocean beginning at Lau Point in Molokai and ending at Diamond Head in Oahu. It is considered one of the roughest ocean channels in the world. The solo invitational event begins in the waters of Papohaku Roadstead, off the Kaluakoi Hotel near the west end of Molokai, and finishes inside the marina at Hawaii Kaikoko Marina on Oahu, 32 nautical miles away. The 2005 race is the 29th annual crossing, counting the 1976 solo effort by Kailua physician Dale Adams, but it has since developed into the premier long-distance open ocean solo crossing in the world. It's a week before the main event, and a small team of South African paddlers is on the island of Kauai to prepare for the main event by competing in the third annual World Relay Challenge.
Today is the third annual World Relay Challenge. It's over 60 kilometers, 4 legs, 2-man teams, 1 surf ski each. There's about 100 entrants, relay teams, mainly in the 1-man outrigger. The first leg is 5K, and then you change over, then another 5K, then 2 18Ks. Very tough competition from Nathan Bagley from Australia and Dean Gardner, and we've got the New Zealanders. But hopefully Daryl Bartha and Ken Collins and Herman and I will be able to keep the South African flag flying.
The World Relay Challenge is unique, taking place on the island of Kauai, with teams consisting of 2 paddlers for both the outriggers and surf skis over a distance of 60 kilometers around the island of Kauai. Each May, the world's best surf ski and outrigger paddlers enter the ocean at Molokai's Molokai to compete in the Molokai Challenge, the World Championship of open ocean surf ski and outrigger racing. The Molokai Challenge, originally named Kanakai Kaika, is the ultimate Ironman and final test of paddling skill, endurance and knowledge of ocean surfing. It tests a paddler's ability to maneuver against unpredictable weather conditions in the Kaiwi Channel. The Kaiwi Channel, more often called the Molokai Channel, is an expansive ocean beginning at Lau Point in Molokai and ending at Diamond Head in Oahu. It is considered one of the roughest ocean channels in the world. The solo invitational event begins in the waters of Papohaku Roadstead, off the Kaluakoi Hotel near the west end of Molokai, and finishes inside the marina at Hawaii Kaikoko Marina on Oahu, 32 nautical miles away. The 2005 race is the 29th annual crossing, counting the 1976 solo effort by Kailua physician Dale Adams, but it has since developed into the premier long-distance open ocean solo crossing in the world. It's a week before the main event, and a small team of South African paddlers is on the island of Kauai to prepare for the main event by competing in the third annual World Relay Challenge.
Today is the third annual World Relay Challenge. It's over 60 kilometers, 4 legs, 2-man teams, 1 surf ski each. There's about 100 entrants, relay teams, mainly in the one-man outrigger. The first leg is a 5K, and then you change over, then another 5K, then two 18Ks. Very tough competition from Nathan Bagley from Australia and Dean Gardner, and we've got the New Zealanders. But hopefully Daryl Bartha and Ken Collins and Herman and I will be able to keep the South African flag flying.
The World Relay Challenge is unique, taking place on the island of Kauai, with teams consisting of 2 paddlers for both the outriggers and surf skis over a distance of 60 kilometers around the island of Kauai. At the first changeover, the Australian team has a slender lead over Team Kia Maxi South Africa, made up of Chalupsky and Chalupsky. The changeover is taking place in a transition area in shallow water, as both team members have to use the same craft for the race. The second South African team in the event, Kenny Collins and Daryl Bartho, follow close behind.
Very tight. The runs were kind of side-on, so it wasn't that good. He ended up scratching quite a bit of the way because it wasn't from behind. Yeah, the next 2 legs are going to be a bit longer. This leg that they're paddling now is another 5 miles, another 30 minutes. And then we've got, what's the next one? 12 miles.
Next one's 12 miles.
12 miles each, so the next one's going to be about an hour.
Yeah, that was one hell of a hard leg that against Nathan Bagley. He's Olympic silver medalist, so he's not too shabby on the shorter distances. That there took about 28 minutes. I managed to get a little lead on him at the start. This next leg, Oscar's going to hang in there with Dean, hopefully, and then the fight will be on again now.
Into the second transition area at the Kauai Marriott, and Oscar's consolidated his lead, albeit slightly. Herman heading back out to sea with the Australian paddler Nathan Bagley arriving late for the changeover, giving the South Africans a valuable lead. A unique feature of the Kauai race is getting to paddle past some of the more inaccessible areas of the island, along with the scenic shoreline. The Kauai Relay Challenge truly is an event with massive future potential. Into the third transition area, and the Australian Nathan Bagley has considerably reduced the deficit between himself and the South Africans.
You know you're in international competition now. Gee.
Lost a bit of time on the start through something so silly. You know, it's still a leg to go and Dean's right on Oscar's tail, so it's going to be a close race. It'll be a good finish, I think. So it's going to come down to these two, the 2 old dogs of the seas.
Dean Gardner of Australia seen rounding the final turning buoy and taking first place with South Africa's Oscar Chalupsky just behind him. Oscar was leading coming out of the final transition area, but he misjudged the final turning buoy close to the finish, and that gave the Aussies the chance they needed to take the win. Team Kia Maxi South Africa's Ken Collins and Daryl Bartha finished third, ending off a good day's racing for all the teams and a great warm-up for the Molokai race in a week's time.
A good fun day out. As I said before, nice to change the format and have a relay race. Definitely Herman and Oscar and Daryl are not going to have it their own way. The Aussies are certainly here, and I think this little race has proven that there's going to be a lot of serious fighting up front.
Back on the island of Oahu, and the team of Kia Maxi South African paddlers has a chance to reflect on the past weekend in Kauai. The training continues almost immediately, with the paddlers taking the opportunity to familiarize themselves with the finish to the Molokai race at the cliffs at Chinaman's Wall. This part of the race course has proved decisive in past years due to the unpredictable ocean conditions, the shallow reef passes, and the dangerous cliff faces. 10 times previous Molokai winner Oscar Chalupsky knows these cliffs better than anyone. Oscar first competed in this race 22 years ago and has been the backbone of the 2005 team.
The toughest races on the world are always determined by the opposition. It's very easy to go to a race in beautiful places and win when there's no opposition, but I don't know what it is with Hawaii. Hawaii attracts the strongest fields in the world. We're here as part of the Kia Maxi team to do the Molokai to Oahu channel crossing, which is going to go over the Kaiwi channel. The race is going for about 29 years, started by a guy called Dale Adams. And the first 2 years was basically done as an adventure. What we've seen is bigger international fields, and that the South Africans and Australians have dominated for the past 26 years. We've got Nathan Bagley, two-time Olympic silver medalist, Greg Barton, two-time Olympic gold medalist. We've got Rami Zur, who's a world champion and World Cup sprint racer. Dean Gardner won it 9 times, is going to be a big opposition. You've got from South Africa, Herman, Butch Murray, Ken Collins, and Daryl Bartha. If he has a good race, I think he's going to show up a few more Aussies. There's a lot of fighting between the Aussies and the South Africans since the Perth World Cup, but hopefully, with the conditions like they are, the South Africans should prevail. But it's going to be tough.
With 24 hours to go until the race, the Team Kia Maxi boards the flight for the island of Molokai. The race is scheduled to start in the waters of the Kaluakoi Hotel at the west end of Molokai. The Kaiwi Channel is considered one of the roughest in the world, which is why safety is paramount in this event. And after a quick briefing from the race director, the rivalry between the South African and Australian camp continues.
What's the tally? The Bagley-Oscar show. 1-1. 1-1. Decider. People can remember. Yeah, selective memory. It's all right. You're getting old. Good conditions. You got the quality field to break the record. So obviously I'm here. I want to win. So in order to win, I've got to chase the record. So I make no secret, I've come here trying to win and trying to break the record. So I'd love to get 2 notches on the belt in one go. So, but you know, he's not going to make it easy, and there's a handful of other guys that aren't going to make it easy. So we'll see. But I've got a goal, I'll make no secret, win and a record. Love them both. So it's Mother Nature's hands though. It all depends on what she dishes up tomorrow. Hopefully it's good, hopefully it's quick. Bring it on.
The history of the event goes back approximately 20 to 25 years. We've had this race a while. I've been involved in this for the past 3 years, and I've seen the event evolve and grow into a truly world-class event. The fact that paddlers from all over the world come to do this race and call it the World Championship is very exciting to us. The actual course itself is the draw. The Molokai Channel is one of the most challenging waterways in the world. Herman's our returning champion from last year. Oscar won 10 of them. We also have Dean Gardner. We have a strong contingency from Australia and New Zealand. We have over 15 craft. Some of them are 2-man, so we have about 120 paddlers actually doing this race. The conditions are ideal. We couldn't have asked for a better day. However, being that the channel is the channel, we're a little apprehensive. That's why we require every paddler to have an escort boat. Every paddler that leaves the beach tomorrow morning is required to have their own motorized craft as a support boat. Hello, Avakea. Good evening. I'm Teo Clemens with Kanaka Ikaika, one of the race directors. You're watching the 2005 Kona Brew Kanaka Ikaika Molokai World Championships. Stay tuned. This place is going to blow your socks off.
Conditions are good. The seas are 8 to 10 feet. For Hawaii standards, this is about as good as it gets. So it should be a good day.
All ready and rearing to go. Wind looks like it's blowing very hard. There's a small craft advisory, which means that small craft shouldn't be out there, so that makes it good for us. And looks like all the people have arrived. Everybody's got here safely, and we're just waiting for the race to go. 1 hour to start, and all the juice is all jacked up, and hopefully we can put the heat onto the Aussies.
Day's dawned. It's been a lot of waiting, but with the conditions, I think it's going to be worth the wait. Wind's 25 knots, I say, and the channel is looking dangerous, but for us guys, that's good news.
Yeah, ready to do the crossing. It's going to be a fast one this year.
Nerves are going. Wind was blowing hard last night. Yeah, I don't know really what to expect. It's the first time. Guys have looked after me, they've set me up. Just butterflies inside. I'm getting extremely nervous. Good morning with 20 knot winds blowing right up your back, so what more can you ask for? Can't wait to start the race.
Aloha, we're in Molokai and we're here to watch the Kanaki Kaiko World Championships.
I think we're about maybe half an hour till the start, and it's probably about half an hour till the wind comes. As soon as we get a bit of sun, I think we'll start getting some wind. So, looking forward to that.
Ready for the race. It's big out there.
How are you feeling for the race?
I'm feeling great. Yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. Fun and a bit of pain at the same time. Yeah, it's great. I'm excited about the conditions.
Stand up. Watch your rudder.
The big day dawns and the paddlers get onto the water for final preparations before the start. The racing begins at the west end of Molokai at the Kalua Koi Hotel, and approximately 3.5 hours of grueling ocean paddling lies ahead as 115 singles and 5 doubles take to the start of the 2005 Molokai World Surf Ski Challenge. The starting horn sounds the beginning of the crossing, and the surf ski paddlers head straight to the front of the pack. 9 times Molokai winner Dean Gardner is in search for his 10th victory. He gives us his take on the crossing.
I'm Dean Gardner. We're here at the start of the Molokai to Oahu surf ski race. We're on the west end of Molokai, and tomorrow we head to the eastern end of Oahu. This is the 16th time I've done this event. I've won it 9 times. I'd like to sort of get my 10th victory up in this event. It's a personal goal that I've had since I won my first one back in the early 90s. Obviously Oscar and I have had some good tussles here. Herman and I have had some good tussles here. I expect this year those two to be up in the front, and along with Nathan Bagley and a couple of the other Australian guys, I think it'll be one of the best races we've ever had here. Obviously winning 10's a big thing for me. If I can get that out of the way, then I might not have to do this race anymore.
Paddlers in the crossing need to use the ocean current and wind direction to make it easier for themselves, as predominant trade winds come in from an easterly direction. Tactics dictate the pack heads north of the island into the open ocean to find the correct wind and swell direction to take them across to Oahu. 2 packs emerge early in the race. Herman Chalupsky, Dean Gardner and Daryl Bartho staying further north for the early stages of the race, while Nathan Bagley and Oscar Chalupsky opt to stay further south. Tahitian ski paddling legend Lewis Laughlin also figuring strongly at the front of the race. At the 1 hour mark, the paddlers turned west with the swell direction to make their dash for Oahu. The group of Herman Chalupsky, Bartho and Gardner opting to stay further north for longer and creating a gap between themselves and the more southerly group of about 4 kilometers. At the sharp end of the race, and Nathan Bagley and Oscar Chalupsky's tactic of turning earlier seems to have paid off for the moment, having a slightly better line of the run into Oahu. The gap of 4 kilometers is now narrowed to 3, but in open ocean racing, only time will tell which decision will prove to be the correct one. Back with the northerly group, and Dean Gardner and Daryl Bartho are going stroke for stroke.
Things are good. The race day is finally here. It's going to be, looks like it's going to be quite a messy start. So we just got to look sharp, just keep an eye on the front runners and then see how the race progresses as it goes. Yeah, I'm feeling strong. Yeah, had a good build up, so nice and rested now. So just make sure I link up the runs and put down the hurter. Yeah.
2 hours into the race, and an uncharacteristic error by Oscar Chalupsky sees him taking a swim. The first time he's done that in 13 Molokais, and losing some valuable time on Nathan Bagley, who now leads the race just a few hundred meters to the south. Wasting no time and putting in an excellent set of runs, Oscar Chalupsky manages to narrow the gap and has Bagley in his sights in no time at all. Oscar showing the tenacity that's won him 10 previous Molokais. Back north, we find the rest of Team Kia Maxi South Africa. Herman Chalupsky's taken charge of this group, putting some distance between himself and Gardner and Bartho. And now at 2.5 hours, the groups firmly within sight of each other, they set their sights on Coco Head, and the race is on to reach Chinaman's Wall first. The heat is intense and the competition at the front of the race is heating up. Gardner and Bartho going stroke for stroke at the front as they look to milk the runs. Daryl Bartho bursting into the lead, while Aussie Dean Mercer does just the same. He's just behind the chasing pack, but nonetheless right in contention. Nathan Bagley and Oscar Chalupsky at the top of the shot here in the black ski, trading run for run, looking for that critical advantage as they head towards Chinaman's Wall. The beautiful sight of Coco Head means that the finish line is near. 3 front paddlers reach the cliffs at the same time: Nathan Bagley, Oscar Chalupsky and Herman Chalupsky. Oscar's and Nathan's line into Oahu is proving to be the better option on the day, and Herman finds himself 500 meters off the pace in the front. And what a pace it is! Bagley and Chalupsky trading the lead. Nathan chasing a good set of runs, momentarily pulling away from Oscar. But Oscar answers straight back, keeping the lead firmly within his grasp. At Chinaman's Wall, Oscar seizes the opportunity to pull away, putting together a great set of runs. This will prove to be an insurmountable lead. Herman Chalupsky at this stage back in 3rd position, 500 meters back. And with these 2 juggernauts of the surf slugging it out paddle stroke for paddle stroke, the defining moment of the race came in its very dying stages. Oscar Chalupsky, putting in a strong paddle, picked up a miraculous set of runs and suddenly found himself surging ahead of Nathan Bagley. Chalupsky now getting escorted into the calmer waters. He can sense victory in his grasp, and you can see the resignation from Bagley. He knows he's been beaten by some power paddling and superb choice of runs as they head into the marina. Chalupsky taking a moment to doff his Kia Maxi Team South Africa cap as he heads for the finish line knowing that he's got victory in sight, while his brother Herman Chalupsky, who is now beginning to feel the effect of 3.5 hours of paddling, is beginning to feel the struggle in the final few hundred meters into home. Sneaking in on the inside of an exhausted Herman Chalupsky, Dean Gardner, the old pro of the sea, picking up a big run and capitalizing on Herman Chalupsky blowing in the final stages to snatch third away from the other member of Team Kia Maxi South Africa. But the crowd is waiting at the marina to see Oscar Chalupsky from Team Kia Maxi South Africa cross the line to take his 11th victory in the Molokai crossing. In second place, double Olympic silver medalist and another second in the bag for Nathan Bagley, one of the great competitors in world paddling. Dean Gardner making it a 2-3 for Australia as he snatches the last place on the podium. Exhausted but satisfied with having completed the world's toughest ski marathon, Herman Chalupsky limps home in fourth. And a third member of the Team Kia Maxi South Africa, Daryl Bartho, having slugged it out with the front runners the whole way through, crossing the line in 7th behind Martin Kenny and Dean Mercer of Australia.
It was the most interesting race I've done because, as predicted, Nathan went off so hard that I thought, what are these guys doing? And I stayed with him. When I eventually I went on my own line where I thought Oahu's. As you know, we couldn't see Oahu, and then Nathan came past, and I didn't try and beat him or anything. I just sort of conserved the whole time, realizing it was going to be a long, long race. I made my move as we turned and hit the wall right at Portlock Point, which was right on the point there. And I just carried on pulling, and then I didn't even look back to see where he was. And it's a good win.
So Oscar Chalupsky cements himself as one of the legends of the Molokai, finishing in a time of 3 hours and 28, some way shy of the record, despite all the hype about records falling, the tough conditions and heat on the day, together with his unexpected swim, putting paid to any chances of the record falling. 11 victories for Chalupsky, Herman Chalupsky in 4th, and Daryl Bartho, the 3rd member of Team Kia Maxi South Africa, in 7th.
Yeah, it was a good race, eh? Good to be up there, and the runs were pretty good. I think we ended up going slightly further north. Myself, Dino and Herman, yeah, we formed a bit of a group. Oscar snuck through on the left, slightly further south. And yeah, just towards the end, muscles got a bit tired, and yeah, each run became harder to catch. But it was a good race all in all.
So, you know, you can't take it past Oscar. He's a legend. Every time he comes back, he bullshits on how he's going to win it, and he ends up winning it. So good on him. It's a good job.
You win some, you lose some.
I'm blaming you guys.
But you just never know where the runs or the currents are. So you just got to take your chances across
like that third.
Sometimes the northern channel might be quicker, sometimes the southern one is just quicker to go south this year.
It was a great race, and I put everything into it, and you know, I made my intentions clear at the start that I was going to go out quick, I was going to try and win and try and get the record, and came close in both, but you know, today Oscar paddled unbelievable. He was so many times, a few times he came up next to me, and I got a bit of a shock. I didn't expect to see him, and then I put in a bit of a kick and I'd pull away every time. So I thought I had him covered. I thought, okay, if that's all he's got, he's obviously worked hard to get up to me, and there's no other race over that distance. It's so tight. It's, you know, it came down to less than a minute in the end of the race. So it's an awesome experience. Hawaii is a beautiful place. It's definitely on my list of things to come back and do, and I guess it was the one that got away this year, and I definitely want to come back, and even though I'm hurting pretty badly, that I'll be back and I'm doing this again, and you know, I know what to expect now. I've got that first one out of the way, came close, but hopefully next time I'll get it on the money.
The Molokai Hawaii World Surf Ski Championships, proudly presented by Kia Motors and Maxi Stainless Steel.